Well, we know that China recently put up a space station, and it only takes 3 or 4 astronauts compared to 6 of the International Space Station. But China's space station conducts the preventive maneuvers in order to avoid collision with the Elon Musk Starlink satellites. Billionaire SpaceX founder Elon Musk owns the Starlink satellites, as we know. SpaceX has deployed nearly 1,900 satellites already to serve its Starlink broadband network to broaden its satellite-based internet outreach for the world. So almost 2,000 are already up there. China has slammed the U.S. for not informing China or the United Nations about the activities of the Starlink satellites. They're allegedly endangering lives on board of China's space station. The permanent mission of China to the United Nations in Vienna said that the Starlink satellites launched by SpaceX had, quote, 2 close encounters with the Chinese space station, and, quote, July 1st and October 21st of this year. In a note verbale, China said that on the 21st of October, a Starlink satellite was, quote, continuously maneuvering. The maneuver strategy was unknown and orbital errors were hard to be assessed. There was thus a collision risk between the Starlink 2305 satellite and the China space station, end quote. So in the words of the permanent mission of China to the UN in Vienna, the 2 instances, quote, constituted dangers to the life of and health of the astronauts aboard the China space station. And as per the information shared by China, the Musk Starlink satellites had been traveling since April 19, 2020 in orbit at an average altitude of about 555 kilometers. But between May 16 and June 24th, the Starlink 1095 satellite maneuvered continuously to an orbit around lower, about 382 kilometers, and stayed in that orbit. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. So we can imagine, there's a lot of activity up above our Earth's atmosphere with all these satellites and space stations and whatever else is up there. So the mission underlined that China's space station has traveled stably in a near circular orbit at an altitude of about 390 kilometers on an orbital inclination of about 41.5 degrees. The Chinese mission mentioned that the U.S. violated Article 6 of the Outer Space Treaty. This article says, state parties to the treaty shall bear international responsibility for national activities in outer space, including the moon and other celestial bodies, whether such activities are carried on by government agencies or by non-government agencies, in this case, non-government agencies being Starlink by Elon Musk. So China's manned space program completed 5 launch missions in 2021 with a successful launch into orbit of the Tianhe core model of the China space station, the Tianzhou 2 and the Tianzhou 3 cargo spacecraft, as well as the Shenzhou 12 and Shenzhou 13 crewed spacecraft. After 4 crewed missions, the station is expected to be completed by the end of next year. And this is by Sputnik Rishikesh Kumar. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support.